Oh, hi, Possum. Are you ready to read the story? All right, here we go. Possum Magic, written by Mem Fox and illustrated by Julie Vivis. Here goes. Once upon a time, but not very long ago, deep in the Australian bush lived two possums. Their names were Hush and Grandma Poss. Grandma Poss made bush magic. She made wombats blue and kookaburras pink. She made dingoes smile and emus shrink. But the best magic of all was the magic that made Hush invisible. What adventures Hush had! Because she couldn't be seen, she could be squashed by koalas. Because she couldn't be seen, she could slide down kangaroos. Because she couldn't be seen, she was safe from snakes, which is why Grandma Poss had made her invisible in the first place. But one day, quite unexpectedly, Hush said, "Grandma, I want to know what I look like. Please, could you make me visible again?" Of course I can," said Grandma Poss, and she began to look through her magic books. She looked into this book and she looked into that. There was magic for thin and magic for fat, magic for tall and magic for small, but the magic she was looking for wasn't there at all. Grandma Poss looked miserable. "Don't worry, Grandma," said Hush. "I don't mind." But in her heart of hearts, she did. All night long, Grandma Poss thought and thought. The next morning, just before breakfast, she shouted, "It's something to do with food! People food! Not possum food, but I can't remember what. We'll just have to try and find it." So later that day, they left the bush where they had always been to find what it was that would make Hush seen. They ate Anzac biscuits in Adelaide, Mornay and Minties in Melbourne, steak and salad in Sydney, and pumpkin scones in Brisbane. Hush remained invisible. "Don't lose heart," said Grandma Poss. "Let's see what we can find in Darwin." It was there in the far north of Australia that they found a Vegemite sandwich. Grandma Poss crossed her claws and crossed her feet. Hush breathed deeply and began to eat. "A tail! A tail!" shouted both possums at once, for there it was, a brand new visible tail. Later on, in a beach in Perth, they ate a piece of pavlova. Hush's legs appeared, so did her body. "You look wonderful, you precious possum," said Grandma Poss. "Next stop, Tasmania." And over the sea they went. In Hobart, late one night, in the kitchens of the casino, they saw a lamington on a plate. Hush closed her eyes and nibbled. Grandma Poss held her breath and waited. "It worked! It worked!" she cried, and she was right. Hush could be seen from head to tail. Grandma Poss hugged Hush and they both danced. Here we go round the Lamington plate till early in the morning. From that time onward, Hush was visible. But once a year, on her birthday, she and Grandma Poss ate a Vegemite sandwich, a piece of pavlova, and half a lamington, just to make sure that Hush stayed visible forever. And she did. The end. Hi everyone, it's Miss Leah at the Cambria County Library. This week for Fairy Tale STEAM, we are going to be focusing on art and a little bit of science. So the book we read this week had to do with magic, and the show that we have this week, our Harry Potter themed magician, is going to be on Thursday evening at 7. I hope you can join us. So we are going to be making a magic wand. That will be our art process today, and we're also going to be doing a science experiment with our magic wand. We're going to make a mixture out of baking soda and vinegar, and we're going to see what happens. So here we go. Bag. You had some materials to make a magic wand. This is Miss Leah's magic wand. I used pipe cleaner and beads and some feathers, and I put my magic wand together because we're going to do an experiment. You need a few things from at home: some vinegar, baking soda, and if you have food coloring and some dish soap, you can use those as well, but you don't have to. So the first thing you're going to do is take your baking soda and pour a little bit in. You're also going to need a container. You're going to pour that in your container. Then you're going to take some food coloring. Miss Leah is using blue. You also want to make sure to have some paper towels on hand. I'm going to add a little more blue. You want it to be very magical. And I'm going to take my wand. You don't have to do this part, but Miss Leah is going to use her wand to stir that up a little bit. Stir my mixture. Ooh, the baking soda is starting to turn blue. Then I'm going to use my wand to go, whoo. All right, are you ready? Oh, first we need a couple drops of dish soap. There they are. And here's the magical part. Ready? First, let me say the words. Hocus pocus. And whoa! Check it out. Let's add more vinegar. We made a mixture. Wow. All right, have fun.